Hello and welcome back. Another day of training. Today's day 3 of that 10-part series on how to really leverage your brilliance and become an expert and a subject matter authority inside of a specific tribe of individuals. Today we're talking about our audience's biggest problems. Yes, this is the most impactful part, period, of all marketing, all video communication, all copy that you'll write, all training protocols, everything in the world. You must know your ideal client's pain, their problems. Like, I know you're here with me right now for 3 very simple reasons. You need more leads, you need more sales, and you want more free time. Now, I can twist that all types of different ways. I can amplify the pain inside of you by saying, look, I know you've been struggling. I know you've been struggling to generate 3 to 5 consistent, high-quality leads every week because I've struggled too. I struggled to find where these clients that were motivated to take action, that had the money to pay for it, that knew what I could solve for them, I struggled to find them online. I struggled to find them in person in my local town. I just struggled. Until I found this incredible system that guarantees consistent leads every week, 3 to 5, without question. And I'm going to share it with you because I know you need leads, right? You're like waiting right now. Like, just give it to me. It's coming. I promise. I promise. Right, but this comes down to knowing those pain points. So always remember that gurus, right, experts, are students and servers first. They're always asking. They're always learning. So study your audience. Study them in great depth. You need to know their top 3 to 5 biggest pain points. And don't guess on these. This part kills me from where I sit. Know your ideal client. Put out a post online. Ask if you can interview 5 people. Once you know the pain points, think in your mind, like, do I know anybody like that? Even if they're never going to consider coaching with me, do I know anybody like that? Could I call them and get them on the phone and ask them questions that will help propel my business forward, even though they'll never sign up with me? You should know some people. If you don't, ask online. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, I don't care where. Don't go into this blind. Don't assume you know what the marketplace needs. You know how I know you want leads? You know how I know you want simple sales? You know how I know you want more free time? Number 1, because I wanted all those things. But number 2, I interviewed 12 different coaches. And so if I could solve something for you inside of your business right now, what would the number 1 thing be that I could solve? I don't know how to solve anything, but what would it be? Oh man, I really like more leads without having to pay for Facebook ads. Got it. What's the number 2 thing? I never have time to spend with my family. Man, I just work bell to bell all day long. It's like 12 and 14-hour days. Like, I have no idea how to pull this off. It's from interviewing people. Get the facts. See, we need to have these 3 to 5 things that you can solve with excellence and with ease consistently. So I'm going to give you the questions that I would have you ask on that telephone survey. Don't type this out. Be intimate with these people. Tell them they're helping you build your business. There's no shame in asking for help. Shame comes from not being able to pay your bills. Shame comes from not being certain where the next customers are coming from, knowing you have things you want to do, knowing that you have brilliance to impact people's lives. Don't be ashamed to ask people for their time and some questions to be answered. So the very first question, what are you trying to accomplish this year? To your ideal client. This is not me to you. This is to your ideal client. What is it you're trying to accomplish this next calendar year or in the next 12 months? What do you think it would take for you to double 2 times over your business size or your amount of happiness this year, depending on the type of business you're in? What frustrates you the absolute most about your life and about your business right now? What frustrates you the most? What have you already tried to improve your situation around what frustrates you most in your life? What worked from those solutions and what didn't work? Those are some impactful and empowering questions. When you know those, we have the cornerstone to make massive changes in the lives of clients, and to really hone in your marketing and cut through all the noise, which comes later in the training, which is your noise canceling message. We got to cut through all the nonsense that exists in the marketplace. What separates you from everybody else? I'm going to guess that you care more. I'm going to guess that you have more knowledge. I'm going to guess that you have better results, but we have to make sure people can hear that. So the more you understand your audience, your ideal client avatar, their biggest pains, and the more pressing problems and their ultimate ambitions, the more you can create hyper-focused information that improves their life and then elevates your status. Right? We want to keep elevating your status, and there's training coming on that too. Nothing is held back from you. I hope you're seeing why it's so impactful to lay this foundational work together. Because without it, something's going to break down later in the system. So the questions to answer, right? The question for you to consider as we're wrapping up today's training are as follows. My audience often dreams of achieving what? My audience often dreams of achieving what? My audience is afraid of not knowing enough about what? My audience loves to search Google phrases such as, what are they searching? My audience follows these types of people or organizations online currently. That's going to matter later for marketing. My audience often pays good money for what? This is not necessarily for training. Do they buy certain types of watches? They buy certain type of cars. They go to certain restaurants. Like what do they spend good money on? If I could give my audience information that would help them improve their lives, they would want it to be about what? The steps my audience misses when trying to achieve their goals are, what do they miss? What do they stumble on? Based off of all of this, somehow, how would you begin to present information that could make your audience happy? Another way to say this is, how do you take all this information and begin to create a solution that's going to make your audience happy, solve problems for them, alleviate pain points? See, as you're ratcheting through all this, we're going to get more in-depth training on this that's coming, but I want you to keep in mind, there's 8 psychological triggers that are embedded in our subconscious that we had no choice about. I'm not going to bore you with what all 8 of them are. However, the top 2 that are carnal desires that force us to make action are based around sex. That's not the physical level of intimacy. That's attraction. It can be intimacy, but that's right. Gain weight, lose weight, more muscle, less muscle, whatever the things would be. That's number 1. Number 2 is personal improvement. And personal improvement can be monetary. It can be status elevation. It can be tribe elevation. But if your messaging doesn't tie those 2 things into it, it's going to be harder to create conversions. I'll go as far as it's almost going to be impossible. But we're going to get to that in the future. Just keep it in mind as you're answering these questions. Super excited for everything we're doing together. I know there's some more brilliance coming up. I'm excited to see what sort of results you're going to get with all this. Look forward to tomorrow's training. Talk to you soon.